Hello guys, and welcome back to more Ligue on the Force 9's YouTube channel. This is the Lyon save with in FM 2015, and today we're going to have a little recap of our second season in charge of Lyon, where we finished second in Ligue 1. We were behind Marseille by a point for quite a while, but they pulled ahead and they won the league for the second year in a row. But I'm very happy how we did. We got into second place, we were runners up, and we're in the Champions League next year. So we're going to have a look at what's happened in the past season and just see what's going to happen in the season to come. Have a look at some players that could be leaving us and maybe potential targets, things we need to focus on for the next season. So where should we start? Let's start with our schedule and let's just have a look at how we did. So pre-season was fantastic. We didn't lose a game and we did really well. So not really too bothered about it. It's not that important. So let's focus on Ligue 1 first of all, where we had an unbeaten start and we were unbeaten for the remainder of 2015 and didn't suffer our first defeat until January 16th, where we lost 1-0 to Nice. But in that time, we had some big wins. We beat Marseille at home. We beat Saint-Etienne. We did the double over Saint-Etienne, which I think is amazing. We get bragging rights in the Rome derby. But some silly draws along the way, like against Dijon and Lens. And a goalless draw at home against Monaco, who finished in 10th in the end, I think, Monaco. I'm not certain, but they finished around mid-table. Goalless draw at home against Rennes and drawing against Bordeaux. The defeat against Nice was silly. Drawing against Avignon and Stade Reims. Home defeat against Evian was the worst performance of the season by far. Even though, we did get a lot of sevens in there, we really should not... Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, terrible performance. We really shouldn't have lost that, which was really annoying. So yeah, a lot of silly draws, and that cost us the league. So it's just silly performances like that. If we can amend those, then we'll be league champions, no problem. But we've done really well. We started off excellently, with some big wins, 4-2, 5-1 and 3-0. And most of these goals came from Alexander Lacazette, who has had a fantastic season. And I think he just about missed out on 40 goals in all competitions, not far off. So that's a shame, but he still scored a load of goals, and he was the top scorer for the league as well. And I think we also had the best defensive record, the least number of goals conceded. So I'm not quite sure. So Ligue 1 was great. Let's look at the Europa League now then. We got through to the quarter-finals in this competition. Very convincing win in the third qualifying round with a 7-0 win against Mlada Boleslava of the Czech Republic. But then we lost 1-0 in the away leg, but that was irrelevant because we had a 7-0 lead. Then we beat Kilmarnock in the playoff, 3-0 on aggregate, and got to the group stage, where our group was Dnipro, Sparta Prague, and Slovan Bratislava. We suffered defeat in Ukraine and lost 2-0 to Dnipro, but we won the rest of our games, and we qualified top of the group. And we got another Czech team in the last 32, Slovan Liberec. We drew 2-2 with them away from home, but we beat them 1-0 at home. So we qualified through to the last 16, where we faced Galatasaray, where I wasn't sure if we were going to get through this. We lost 2-1 at home. But then we went to Turkey and we completely destroyed them, and we won 4-0 away from home to go through to the quarter-final, where unfortunately we couldn't get past Spartak Moscow, which was... I'd probably say they were the weakest team in the draw, and they beat us. And then Liverpool destroyed them, and Liverpool, I believe in the end, did win the Europa League by beating Bilbao in the final. Yes, they won 5-2. And then the Champions League, Man City won it. And then Bayern won it in 2015. So yeah, that was the Europa League. We got to the quarterfinals, which was good. We were only expected to get to the group stage, really. Let's look at the Coupe de France then, where we got to the 11th round and we were knocked out on penalties by Brest. Last year in the Coupe de France, we got knocked out of the first hurdle, but we drew Marseille of all the teams we could have drawn. There were non-league teams in that draw. This time, we drew Laval, who are a Ligue 2 team, I believe. They finished 5th in Ligue 2. Then we got Nîmes, and they're in Ligue 2, they're 8th. And then we got Brest, who are, again, in Ligue 2, and they're in 6th. But they knocked us out on penalties. And it was an interesting shootout, but we didn't get through it, unfortunately. Never mind. The Coupe de France, in the end, was won by Toulouse. So there's that. And then the last competition was the Coupe de la Ligue, where we got to the semi-finals, where we lost to PSG in extra time. And PSG lost the final on penalties to Montpellier. So there's that. So those are all the competitions. So now let's have a look at the squad. So we'll go on overall stats and see who were the best performers. So Samuel Umtiti started 59 games, and he did so well. This guy is just fantastic defender. He got in the team of the year. I signed a new deal for him recently, so he had about a year left on his contract, so I signed a new contract for him. He's now signed until 2020, and he's on £37,000 a week. So he has had a tremendous season. Better than the season before. He scored 3 league goals last season, 4 in all competitions. This season, he scored 3 league goals, but in all competitions, he scored 10 goals. 4 goals in the Europa League, 3 in Cups, and 3 in the League. Tremendous stuff. And his rating went up to 7.22. So a lot of players getting a lot of involvement in the team. Lacazette played 59 games as well. One from the bench. I think there was one game where we dropped him because he did have some off games, Lacazette, even though he scored almost 40 goals. He got 38 in the end, so he was too shy of 40 in all competitions. So let's have a look at the goals then. So the top scorer was Lacazette with 38 in all competitions. How many did he get in the league? 26, and he finished top scorer ahead of Andre Gignac, who's got 23. Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Falcao got 21 each and finished joint third. Okay, so there's that. Other good goals. Gorkov got 17 goals in all competitions. Fekir got 16. He's had a tremendous second season. His first season was good. He got a 7.03. His rating was not as high this time, though. Not really sure why that is. I know he had some poor performances, Fekir, though. He had a 6.0 in one game, and that's just not good enough. So, yeah. Good, very, very good season by Fekir, though. For a second season. And, alright, what's happened? It's not responding. There we go. I'm Titi with 10. And then you got Luke de Jong on 6, Halilovic on 4, Kone on 3, Grenier on 3, Ferry on 2, Badimo on 2, and then 5 players on 1. Not a lot of goals scored by other players, really, which is a bit of a shame, but they came from someone, which is good enough. But Clement Grenier, even though he scored 3 goals, he got 17 assists this season, which is a lot. In all competitions, 17 assists is great. And 6 of them came in the league. He got 8 assists in the Europa League, which is great. Really good. So Grenier, I wasn't sure about him at first. He had a very good first season. His second season was still great. So, yeah, he's good. I like old Grenier. Konstantin Nika was the best signing I made. Romanian right back who has attracted interest. I want to go on information. He's attracted interest. He's got a minor issue because Real Madrid actually came in for them, are apparently interested in him. No bid's been made, but apparently they're interested. So he did ask me if I wanted to leave, and then he wasn't happy with how I dealt it because I tried to fob him off. But never mind. He didn't get any goals in the league. He played 24 games. He got 9 assists, and he got man of the match 3 times for the assists. Got 12 overall in assists, so that's really good. Only paid 1.6 million for him, so I think that's a great signing. Really happy with that. Also up here, you got Jallet, the other right back, who played the games that Nika didn't. Did very well in that respect. So yeah, really good. Man of the match awards, no surprise to see Lacazette top of that. And he was also one of the best passers, but Corentin Tolisso was the best passer. Played 37 games overall, 3 of them from the bench. Wasn't too sure about him. That doesn't really tell the whole story. Very average performance on average. And I'm not sure about him. I'm not sure whether to keep him or not. If someone comes in for him, then yeah, I might let him go if the offer comes in. But he's got good potential, so he could be great for the future. So I think we might keep him. Also up there as a best passer was Jordan Ferry. And I said that I don't think this guy's done very well. He did a little bit better than before. Only got the 1 assist compared to 3 last season. But yeah, I'm not sure what to do about Ferry. He has a bit of potential. But yeah, I'm not quite sure about him. And again, if the offer comes in, then we might get rid of him. Gonalon, he was unhappy at one point. He might still be, actually. No, he's not now. Because, yeah, players did come in for him. And the captain didn't have as good a season. He played 19 games this time round. Because he had quite a lengthy injury, if I remember. Yeah, he tore his hamstring in December, and that kept him out for 3 months. And then, he didn't really want to come back into the team. He was unhappy. Tolisso was playing well. We bought Thiago Motta just to, fill the void. And he was terrible, really. Probably not going to keep him. Because, yeah, Motta is unhappy now. Asked to leave because he wants a chance in the first team. So we might let him go. He didn't play very much at all. Look, he played 7 games in the league. 5 of those came off the bench, and he just didn't do well enough. So I think we might just let him go. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. Tacklers. Frank Kaufman is a regen who we played a few times this season. Played 2 league games from the bench. Didn't actually start any games. But he made a lot of tackles in those times. And then Bojan Djokic, playing 38 games, was the other good tackler. He was the left back that I signed last January for £625,000. He's done really well. Really happy with that. No, very good value for money. Dribbles. Lacazette has the most with 4 per game. Yellow cards, quite a lot this season. Nika got 12, Kone got 11, Badimo 9, Djokic, Ferry got on 7, and a few more others. Red cards, Kone got 2, Badimo and Rose got 1 each. So not too fussed about discipline-wise, just a lot of yellow cards, more than I would have liked. Best performer on average was Konstantin Nika. So let's look at League 1 now then. Let's look at League 1 and look at the player stats and see who we have on these lists. So appearances, not really relevant. So as I said, Lacazette was the top scorer, and the next down was Gorkov, who was joint 13th. Conceded. So as I said, we have the best defensive record, and Lopez only conceded 21 goals this season. He was runner-up for the best goalkeeper. I'm pretty sure Mandanda came first. Penalties. Lacazette was there. He scored 3 out of 3 penalties. Gorkov scored 2 out of 3. And I think that was it. Yeah. So that's the penalties. Assists. Nika is joint 6th with 9. Ben Yedder of Toulouse had the most assists. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And now it's packed up. There we go. What's next? Team goals. So those are players that are involved in team goals. Loads of our players are in 18th. So you've got Fekir, Umtiti and Lopez there. And then Gorkov and Lacazette a bit further down. I'm not too fussed about them. Games won. 24 games won there by those players. Not going to look at those really. So yellow cards. So Nika had the most with 9 in the league. Rio Mavuba of Lyon got 16 yellow cards in the league. Red cards. Kone got 2. There wasn't anyone who had more than that. Man of the match awards. Lacazette had the most of any player with 8. Pass completion. No one in the top 20 there. Tackles. There's Bojan Djokic with his 11. That puts him in 9th level with Ben Stambouli of Monaco. Dribbles. Lacazette's there with 4 next to Diego of Stade Reims. Shots on target. Lacazette, 59% of his shots were on target. That was the most of anyone apart from Johan Rouvière there. Distance covered. Who was the biggest runner of our team? No one here really. Lacazette with 240 miles. Umtiti with 233. That's good for a defender. Distance covered over 90 minutes. Bojan Djokic, on average, covered 8 miles in a game, which is a lot. And then average minutes per goal. Lacazette scoring, on average, a goal every 2 hours. At the start of the season, he did have, on average, more than a goal a game. But he put his foot off the gas a bit, I think. Clean sheets. Lopez came second there with 20 clean sheets. Mandanda had 21. Offside, I'm not going to look at that because that's not nice. So I don't really like looking at offsides because we're usually up there at top. So let's see if we are. Lacazette's third with 49 offside decisions. I remember my Charlton save, Igor Vetikele had over 100. So yeah, that's that. A few more to look at. Cross completion. Oh, no. We'll look at key passes then. Johan Gorkov with 83 key passes. Fekir and Lacazette with 72 each. Cross completion ratio. No one here really. Where's our highest player? Sam Umtiti. 16% of his crosses were completed. Whatever that means. Key tackles made. Umtiti with 24. Bakary Kone with 23. Key aerial challenges. There's Umtiti again. 105 key aerial challenges. That's a lot. Bakary Kone a bit further down with 87. Interceptions made. You've got to think Umtiti will be up here again. Yep, 392 interceptions. Kone on 11th with 344. So our centre-back pairing has been great. Lindsay Rose has been okay off the bench as a backup. But Kone and Umtiti have been our centre-back pairing and they're great. They've done really well. Lacazette on average, the best performer in the league for our team is 7.35. Gignac is a bit further up, as is Andre Ayew and Ben Yedder. And then a couple more to look at. So let's look at mistakes. Jordan Ferry made 119 mistakes, which isn't a lot as other players. Rio Mavuba made 178. Who made the most mistakes leading to goals? We haven't got anyone there. Aurillac of Angers made 6. That was a relegated team, I believe. Who's our highest player? Corentin Tolisso made 2. So we're not too bad, actually. We didn't make a lot of mistakes, really. I think they have cut down on them in the update, which is good. So, yeah, that's it, really. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at the new fixtures for our 3rd season. So I'll skip ahead a few weeks and see when they come up and when people come back. And I'll see if we get friendlies, but they did come a bit after I'd done it. So we'll see when they come up. And yeah, that's it. So I'll see you very shortly when we've got the league fixtures. Alright, the fixtures are up. And we also have season expectations. Now, we're not going to get as much money as we did last season. I think we got about 15 million last season. But I'm going to aim for a title challenge in this season. So we're going to get a transfer budget of 10 million. And a wage budget of 712,000, which is a lot. So I'm going to confirm that, and we're going to look at our fixtures. Our first game is away against Evian. Our first home game is against PSG. Wow, that's big. We've got a derby against Saint-Etienne on September, and then the home game in February. Facing Marseille in 29th of October, and the return match in March, and our last game is against Evian. So you start and finish the season with the same team, it seems. A few things are wrapping off screen as well. Looking at transfers. So these guys are joining us on the 1st of July. They're players that I'd already signed. And I didn't even remember making a bid for this guy. I think someone might have done it on my behalf. But we signed a regen, Fouad Ali, for like £375,000 from Créteil, from Ligue 2. Don't even know what he's like. Is he actually any good? He's okay. Excuse me. What is he? He's a defensive midfielder, which is okay. But we've got Kaufman in there, so I don't really know why. Did I buy this guy or not? I have no memory of it. No one's actually left, but we do have. If we go to our squad, go all players, and we go contract. We do have a number of players whose contracts are expiring in the next year. Some noticeable ones here as well. Well, these guys' contracts are expiring this year. They're going to be leaving us in a couple of weeks. So Steelman Bronco only has a year left on this, and I'm thinking of letting it run down because he didn't do very well really this past season, and he's getting old and he's probably going to retire. But Jale Halilovic and Ferry, I'm undecided about it. I want to keep Jale and Halilovic, I think, but Ferry, I might, if someone comes in for him, I might let him go. We can get a few million for him, and that's it really. And then there's loads of loanies and people, and young players. Some of these I'll keep, some I won't. Some of them will be released definitely. So that's that. There's no one that I want to sell. There's no one who played badly, and there's no one really taking up. If we go back to contract, if there's no one really taking up a huge chunk of our wage budget, let's look at wages. Our highest earner is Gorkov on 60,000. Only thing about Gorkov is he's injury prone. If we have a look at his injuries, yeah, he has a long list of injuries going back to 2011. He's had a few. They're short-term injuries. He's just come back from the fractured ribs, like sort of recently. They're short-term injuries, but he does have to go off on a lot of games, with a knock or with an injury. He doesn't miss a lot of game time over it, but he does have to come off. And that is definitely a downside for Gorkov, who's turning 30 in about a month. And his physicals are going down as well. His agility's gone down to 13, and his stamina and strength are down to 14 and 13 respectively. So if someone comes in for him, I might cash in on him. Because I was looking at an attacking midfielder actually. I actually put in an offer for Thorgan Hazard because he was offered by his agent only 1 million, and they accepted it. And then it came in for a contract. I think we offered him 30,000. I'm not quite sure, but he signed for Lille, who offered a little bit more. So he signed for Lille. We missed out on him, but I think we could look at an attacking midfielder for the squad. And then other areas that might need to be improved. Goalkeepers, the goalkeepers aren't great, but they've done the job that's there. But there was a goalkeeper who his contract is up at the end of the season, in like a week, and I don't know if anyone snapped him up yet. And it's Asmir Begovic. If he's available, I'd like to try and get him. Yeah, his contract is expiring in like a week, so we could get him on a free transfer. And I don't know whether to do it or not. He's great. How has he actually been doing for Stoke? not too bad actually. He's been doing okay. If you look at his reports, he might ask for a lot of wages. He'd be better than our current choices as well. I think he could be good. He's got potential as well. Distance he can get from his goal kicks, so he can't kick the ball very far. But he's determined. He's also fluent in French as well. But we don't need another goalkeeper, so I think it would just be buying him for the sake of buying him. So I don't really want to do that. If one of our other goalkeepers leaves or gets unhappy and he's still available for free, I'll do it. But yeah, so I don't think goalkeepers are a problem. Defenders, I think. I don't know what'll happen with Lindsay Rose. We might offload her. I'm not sure though. We'll get her. It's a he. I keep associating Lindsay with a female name, and it's a bloke. But I'm not quite sure about him. Like potential wise, we've got Itigard Jensen who's coming back from loan soon. And there's that Mbumbuni as well. He's in the I should put all these guys in there as well. So this is the potential we've got. So we've got Hamza Yilmaz, who's a regen as well. He's still 15 years old though, so we could do something with him. There's Itigard Jensen and Mbumbuni and Boris Maran and Bilal Lorenz. We've got a lot of potential, but in terms of currently, I think Antiti and Kone are great, but I'm not sure if Rose is sufficient backup. So I think we could do with a backup centre back. Left back, I think we're fine. We've got Jokic, we've got Badimo, and Antiti can also play there as well. In terms of for the future, we've got Benali, and Judidi's not too bad, so I think we're okay there. Right back, Nika and Jale are great. We've got Boris Maran, who plays well as a right back, and we've got Antonio, who is was a 5-star regen, but he's gone down to 4.5. But Boris Maran is a 5-star potential player, so I think we're fine for the fullback. We might need a centre back though. We'll have a look at that. Defensive midfield, we've got Gonalon, we've got Tolisso, Motta probably going to go, and you've got Frank Kaufman as well, and Itigard Jensen can play there as well. He's a versatile player. He can play a defender, and he can play a midfielder or a defensive midfielder, so that's good. I think we're okay in defensive midfield. In central midfield, we've got Gorka, who I play a bit further up really. Grognier's okay. Ferry could go, and Wembar and Malbronk. And Wembar hasn't done very well actually, so I might get rid of him. For the future, we've got Hussein and Jensen can play there, of course. Alexi Cardon is a 5-star potential player, could be. So a central midfielder could be something to look at. I don't use wide players really. We don't have a lot of options here, but we don't really need them. Attacking midfield, we've got Gorkov. Grenier can play there. Fakir's okay. Halilovic has less potential than he had. So I think an attacking midfielder as well. So I think we just need to go through the middle really. Cardon's great for potential there though. But that's it really. So I think we need an attacking midfielder, and then strikers. I think we're fine. I mean, look at this. For strikers, we're absolutely great. For potential wise, Lacazette, he's fantastic. He's staying with us. Cornet, we could keep him for this one. We could keep him and not put him out on loan. Audrain is okay. He's got good potential. Pagliuca was unhappy, but I'm not quite sure what to do with him. He's got a year left, so I'm undecided about him. Benzia went on loan. I don't want to keep him. He just didn't play, so we'll try and offload him maybe. Kalua has got potential. Yatara, he's going to go. I've been trying to get rid of him for ages, but he wants to stay and fight for his place, but it's not happening. He's just wasting. He's just sitting there really and not doing anything, so he's going to go. Luke de Jong was kind of a backup striker. He got a few goals, so we'll keep him and see what we can do with him. And GA is not good enough. So I think we're fine for strikers. So I think for this transfer window, potential defender, central midfielder, and an attacking midfielder. And I think that's all we need to do. So that's that really. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is, so that's our schedule right there. We're in the group stage of the Champions League, of course. And then we've got the cups, which will come up at some point as well. And the friendlies will be decided as well. So what I'm going to do is the next time I will see you on this channel with this series, I will have done pre-season and we'll go straight into the first game of Ligue 1 away against Evian. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Our third season with Lyon. Hopefully we can mount a title challenge like we did this year, and just not fall behind, in the last few weeks. We'll see what happens though. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this series, leave likes on the videos because it helps. And any comments for anything, future series, or any comments like sort of suggestions for my Scenario Sunday series, any words of encouragement, things like that, I'd love to hear them. And, you know, of course, if you do like this stuff and you haven't subscribed yet, then do it. Because, yeah, you'll see my videos as soon as they're uploaded on your subscription feed. So, yeah, if you haven't been enjoying this, then do hit that subscribe button, please. And I also have a Twitter as well. Not just for this, for my other channel as well, from my Mugioso's Let's Play channel. My Twitter's at Mugioso, and that's it. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.